All right.
Well, Chet, welcome back to the GGB Breakdown, episode 17. And folks, we've got a developing situation across the Northeast Alberta.
Yeah, that's right, Dwayne. There appears to be a serious broom shortage. Hardware stores are confused. Janitors are asking questions. And it's all because of round one of the Junior B playoffs that brought out all of the sweeps.
Series after series wrapped up early. Teams wasted no time of punching their ticket forward and sending a very clear message that nobody was interested in extending their stay in round one.
Yeah, it was fast, it was decisive, and frankly, it left us scrambling to keep up. Much like you, Dwayne, trying to shovel your driveway with a goalie stick last week.
Well, I couldn't find the amount of snow we got. I couldn't find nothing to shovel it with except for goalie stick, and eventually it worked.
Well, today we're breaking down everything from round one of the playoffs, some standout performances, some surprises, and the teams that'll be carrying the momentum from their sweeps into the next round.
And of course, we'll also name our player of the week for round one, recognizing a player that rose to the occasion when the stakes got higher.
Folks, the playoffs are fully here. The intensity is rising. Episode 17 starts right now. Let's drop the puck. Well, here we go. We're going to do the breakdown. We're getting into it right away, folks. Not wasting any time because we got quite a few games to talk about. Round one's officially in the books, and it didn't waste much time getting there.
We saw dominating performances, clutch moments, and teams providing exactly why they earned their spot in the playoffs.
And there was some series drama, and others brought the broom. So
we'll break down who advanced, who stood out, and which team looks to make a dangerous move forward. Yeah, segment one, talking about the first round of the playoffs, had the Wainwright Bisons playing the Cold Lake Ice. Wainwright came in, with a season record of 25-6-5. Putting them in third, where Cold Lake, kind of had a slide there at the end of the season. Ended up going 13-21-2 to end up in sixth place.
Well, we could
place.
say, yeah, head-to-head maybe would kill them, but tied, basically.
Tied, yeah. So it could have went either way. I guess it came down to, the season series with those two teams.
Yeah.
And but it ended up putting the Ice into seventh place there. So they ended up playing the Wainwright Bisons. Cold Lake goes into Wainwright on the first game, talking with, coach prior to game two. But he was saying how, they kind of probably still, as per usual through the season, kind of had their bust legs in the first. Then he talked about how their their penalty kill kind of kept Wainwright at bay, even though it was a tough start off the beginning with Wainwright going up 2-0 in the first. Coach said they went 7 for 7 on the penalty kill. You couldn't ask for anything better on a high-powered offense that Wainwright has. Chet in second period, third period, allowing one goal in each of those to make it a 4-0 final. I think when we were talking to Coach there, he was talking about how he thought the second and third period were actually the Ice's game in there.
Yeah, and I think overall, those bus legs in the first period, they shook them. They got them out, and they kept it really competitive.
Yeah, that's not what the score tells, but talking to even the GM and some of the other players that were down there, they thought they were in the game the whole time after the first period. But you slip that first game and you move it on to game two, being down 1, but you're actually coming home. So coming into the second game there on Thursday night, I don't know, I'll let you kind of run with that one, Chet, for a bit.
Home game. We also have to remember there was, snow delay, so one of the game, got bumped. Thursday, we thought, man, it was a little bit quiet in the barn when we got here. Hopped into the media booth, did a little tour, and met GM or president here.
Yep.
And talked with Dale, and there was just a good energy, even though it was quiet. Great warm up, everything looked good, and man, what a game!
Yeah,
we were hot.
They came out firing. Yeah.
We were hot. We were
Okay, you're talking about the Chet and Dwayne hotness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first period, Wainwright actually started the scoring, going up 2-0 on the ice, but then quite a controversial, nonchalant no goal call. Chet, you want to run us through that one?
Yeah. So, I mean, I had great seats in the VIP booth. I was helping out with some of the media, and there's a bit of a kerfuffle in front of the net, and you're like, okay, what's going on? And like, where's the puck? And then Jenner's looking for the puck. He stands up after the whistle, and he's shaking his pads, and he's looking around, and everybody's looking for the pad. And then Pickowitz, we love that kid, hardworking kid, just goes right to the net, and everybody starts gesturing to the net from the ice, and then Pickowitz goes and points with his stick, and the puck is in the net.
Yeah, sitting in the net. Grezla made a great play, got inside his player, got inside between him and the goal, and, tucked that one in. But everyone in the stands there were calling it a goal, but then you look at the refs, and they're just standing there. And, like, honestly.
But only one ref was there.
It had to have been 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
At least it felt like an eternity for us up in the booth there. But, the goal was called off for a goal that was in the back of the net. There was nothing once the play stopped. There was nothing that, indicated the puck went in there. It was stuck directly underneath that pad. That would have gave the ice a 2-1, being down 2-1 going into the second period with momentum.
Yeah, big momentum killer. And no, we won't beat up the refs too much, but just a little bit. Didn't really even see like your normal... they play a little video of like some zebras around the water cooler at during Cold Lake Ice games here. It's like, pretty creative and witty, if I must say it myself. But normally you'd get the crew together. Like, hey, what did you see? What did you see? What do you see? There's something that isn't jiving here, but no meeting of the minds or anything.
It was,
and
one guy's decision, and that was it.
Yeah.
And it was the guy's decision that just stood there after the play for, I don't know how long.
Yeah, for too long for us. But anyways, we won't bemoan that because, I think even though it wasn't a goal, at the start of the next period, that's really when Cold Lake was starting to come back.
Yeah.
And they kind of got fired up, starting it up. So
Coach must have said something there in the intermission there because coming into the second period, Logan Cooper, getting his
call up
from
second
Lloyd.
or third game, I think, with the ice.
Getting his first goal by a great assist by Cody Pickowitz, cutting the deficit to 2-1. Then the teams kind of battled back. I want to say again, the first goal that was in, I'm going to say it was in, but it was called off, scored by Andrew Grezla. He pucks the second on a power play, making it a 2-2 game. And the building, by that time, Chet, it felt like there was 700 people in there, the way the crowd was going. And honestly, there was probably, maybe 150? Right?
Yeah. It was Thursday night. It was cold, dang cold.
It was cold, but I think
I don't know why I flew in.
The 50-50, I think, is why you flew in.
Oh yeah, guaranteed 1,500 starting, and it was almost $4,000.
It was just under $4,000. I think it was like 39.47 or something like that.
We'll have to talk to Dale.
Yeah,
the top, probably the highest 50-50 in the league so far, probably until provincials.
No, for sure. And then later on in that second period, Wainwright does take the lead going into the break there. But the man that's kind of been doing it in a quiet mode the whole season, Brett Gascoigne, ties it up, just about halfway through. And there's that hope, that glimmer of, a little bit of, we're taking over this game.
And it wasn't like one of those third periods where, hey, we're tied and we're going to try and coast to get to OT. These guys were playing. They were flying. The speed picked up. The intensity picked up. The hits, it was a great game on both sides.
Yeah,
both teams played awesome.
The momentum in that third period carried over in the overtime. I know eventually, I hate doing this, but, Wainwright came up, halfway through the period of a great period. Both goalies making phenomenal saves on either end. Eventually, Wainwright taking the win 4-3 in overtime. Taking a 2-0 lead, heading back to Wainwright for the Saturday night game.
And it was just, Mason Camp coming in, right place at the right time, smart play, heading to the net. The puck was there, and he was making no mistake. So kudos to you, Mason, for that and capitalizing on that opportunity. Third star, Riker Singer, he was everywhere. Like such a great game.
Yeah, he played both ends really hard. Got a couple points out of the night, and ended up being our
Interrupting
third
so
star.
many plays, so many passes on the body, on the stick. So played huge. Second star was Andrew Gresla. Again, he was everywhere. Just head on a swivel, and he had a great game. And then Mason Ganser, they gave him a first star for his 2 goals in the first period.
Yeah.
Serious contributor, and kicked off the game really well for Wainwright. So
we'll move on to the third game there, where Cold Lake traveled back down to Wainwright for the game. Cold Lake came in and they actually scored their first goal on a power play from old Sammy Sawchuk, pucking his first of the playoffs. Normal contributors on those assists, right? You got Brett Gascoigne and Jared Cadu, and then with 2 minutes left, Wainwright does what Wainwright does and tries to deflate that balloon you come in with. But, the game after the first period, tied 1-1. You can't ask for anything else on a road game in the playoffs.
Yeah, no scoring in the second, third period. Wow. I'm shocked to see Riker Singer again. What? Putting it home. Right?
Yeah, you betcha. Like with 4 minutes left in the third period.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what the Ice were going through when that puck went in, knowing that they're this close in all the games. Like I said, even though the first game was a 4-0, second one was an overtime loss, and then this one's a 2-1 loss. They have nothing to kind of hold their heads down for. They played up to Wainwright's caliber.
Right. And then maybe we should segue into that and say, give proper credit where credit is due to Wainwright, because they play a tough, physical, fast game. They're super strong on the puck. They're super strong on defense, and they executed. And Coach was talking about consistency earlier in the season with us in his interviews, Coach Connor, and man, did they come in with intensity and consistency throughout this whole series.
Yeah, whatever they've got in the water in Wainwright, keep drinking it.
Wainwright Wheaties, they got their own brand of something, so keep it up.
It shows, like we talked about earlier on in the season, how they've had a pedigree of winning, and they didn't outright come out and blow out the Ice. I want to make that known that the Ice put up a good fight against a tough team.
So, all right, well, kudos to Wainwright, 3-0 sweep. Get the brooms out, and wish you guys all the best in round 2.
All right, now diving into our second first-round playoff, had the Killam Wheat Kings coming in at that 6th spot, playing the 5th place St. Paul Canadians. Sorry, I guess it would be 4th place St. Paul, 5th place Wheat Kings. Sorry about that.
This is the matchup that both these teams wanted.
Exactly.
Neither of these teams wanted to play Wainwright. Let's just make that clear.
Yeah. And even, both these teams, the Ice have kind of had their numbers through the year, and I don't think they wanted to play the Ice in the first round either.
Well, and if any of these had, those 3 teams had a combination, it could have been anybody's series because of there's distinct home and away advantages for these teams. And then sometimes you get Wheat Kings coming up here and beating the crap out of the Ice and surprising. And then sometimes the Ice would just blow out the Wheat Kings, and St. Paul was like the Achilles heels for the hometown Ice there all year, and they just knew how to get under the skin of the boys. So yeah, we knew this was going to be a good series. I thought this was going to go long.
I thought it was going to go the distance of 5 for sure.
Yeah.
But we'll dive right into the first game here. I don't know what head coach there in Killam was talking over the little bit of a break before the playoffs got started, but his boys came fired up, on the road, jumping out to a 4 goal lead over the St. Paul Canadians. And then, St. Paul grabbing 2 goals there to make it a 4-2 game going into the second, where St. Paul potted the third one, cutting that gap to 3. And then we get to the third period where the Wheat Kings kind of ice it.
Yeah, the first period was like all energy from Killam. St. Paul was in it, 4-2 after the first, but not enough.
No, and, you look at coming out of this series here, the man that we've been wanting to talk to and haven't been able to get to, but the one with the biggest mugshot. Big contributor in this first round.
I think that's a good way to say it because Killam plays big. They're big boys, and that would be one of the biggest factors here in the series is their size.
No, for sure. You look at them compared to Wainwright, they almost match up on parallel. Wainwright has some big kids. I don't know where they got them from, but whether they're back in the woods or on the farms, but big kids. So I agree with you, Chet, on that one. That the bodies are large and they're gonna go to work here. And like I was alluding to, Tanner Sheets contributing in this game here. We'll talk about him in the next 2 games.
Yeah.
Because if you look at who's in the scoring lead right now.
Yeah, after round 1.
It's after round 1, after only 3 games, Tanner Sheet with 8 points.
Some talent. So we want to move on to the Sunday game?
Yeah, let's go to game 2.
I'm not going to let it roll. We'll keep it all together. Canadians, Wheat Kings, 4-3. Final OT. Is that what you got? Yep.
A second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about game 2 in this series. Coach Harvey must have had some chats with St. Paul. And after that 5-3 intense game in St. Paul, it was time for Killam to come in and battle and hopefully use that home barn advantage.
Yeah, I hear that barn's hard.
Yeah,
the fans are right there.
Everybody's breathing on you. You can feel it on your neck. Starting us off first period, Tanner Sheets and Liam Boyko. And this is the matchup. This is the game that everybody wanted. We're happy to see back and forth.
Yeah. You go into the second period where it's tied 1-1, where St. Paul actually takes a...
I know. I'm just waiting for you to talk about St. Paul because I wanted to say who scored in this in the second period here, Dwayne.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chet.
No. Colby Miller and Jacob LeBon. Great. That's awesome. But, man, Kate Schatzschneider. Cade.
Say that 3 times. Come on, I dare you.
Kate Schatzschneider.
You say it one more time, he's going to appear.
Yeah, I know. But, helping Killam stay in it and stay competitive. Look what happens in the third period again.
Who shows up but the most wanted man ever. Tanner Sheets scoring his 4th goal on the power play, tying it up. We're rolling into overtime.
That's exciting hockey.
There, Chet?
Yeah. Again, Tanner Sheets, and look at who got the apple on that one. Just Dylan Kirchin. So just firing on all cylinders, and man, what an overtime! So
yeah, like almost down to the wire. Like, of course, it would go into another overtime if it got into the second overtime. But again, 4 minutes left in the overtime. Tanner Sheets popped his 5th goal. I'm not saying that just because it's his 5th goal in 2 games.
Yeah. So phenomenal. Probably St. Paul probably didn't want to get into that, the penalty trouble that they had in the third and especially in overtime. That was definitely something that's gonna hurt a team. But it was a squeaker 4-3. So yeah, that definitely has an influence on overtime penalties. Definitely have an influence on things. And sealed the deal.
You look at that, Chet. That penalty there at 17:09, and them scoring at 15. It's tough. Trying to make a spark there, but it's overtime. So
yeah, St. Paul was in it to the very end until they weren't. And let's move on to game 3.
Game 3, where the Killam is up 2-0. Okay, Chet. Unfortunately, I jumped ahead in the schedule.
Yeah.
We already reviewed game 3.
Okay. Surprise. Spoiler alert, guys. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. The Wheat Kings take game 3.
Yeah. So Wheat Kings swept the series, which we already knew. So this is nothing new to anybody, but we'll just quickly go back and talk about another squeaker of a game. Friday the 20th, 8 p.m. Killam 3-2 final.
Yeah. So Killam back in the Clancy Richard playing St. Paul. Again, Killam takes a 2-0 lead right off the giddy up. I'm not going to tell you who scored a goal in the first period, but his last name might rhyme with meats.
Yeah. Tanner.
We
won't say it too loud. Killer. Yeah.
clocking in another goal. Then you go into the second period where it stays 2-0 for the Killam Wheat Kings. Then you look at the third period where all of a sudden St. Paul's like, we better start playing.
Let's get in it.
Right? Down one game already, right? Because we are talking about the second game.
Time machine.
They get back into it, tying up the game there at 9 minutes into the period. And then, unfortunately, not what the Canadians wanted is Ethan Allen to come out and break that tie.
Assisted by
no one other than Tanner.
What a series. What a series, Tanner. Congrats on a great performance. So
that wraps up second game, Chet, that was supposed to be before the third game.
1-3-2, but we got it. We got it. It's okay. So let's wrap up here, and then let's head on to our next segment.
Which is going to be...
Player of the Week. Let's see who it is. Fading out intro music here, Dwayne. So let's talk about our last segment. Player of the Week. Well, player of the round one.
Player of round one. Yeah, I like going with that because, there's lots of people that, we've talked about throughout the season. There's lots of people that, probably deserve some shout outs. But with the performance that was put on by this individual, I don't know how to describe it in the first round in 3 games.
Sensational?
Yeah, that's a good word.
In Quebec, we'd say incroyable.
Incroyable. Nice.
Yeah, incredible.
So just wanted to reach out and say this week's NEAJBHL.
Something like that.
Yeah. Player of the Week by vote of Chet and Dwayne is going to be Mr. Tanner Sheets of the Killam Wheat Kings. Coming into it, looks like it was only his second year playing.
Hailed from Camrose originally.
Yeah, which is, not too far from Killam, just down the road.
Yeah.
Right? Comes into the playoffs here this year with a burr in his saddle, fire in his belly. I don't know what to say.
Thorn in his whatever.
Jumping out to 8 points in the first round of 3 games.
Phenomenal.
5 goals, 3 assists. So I'm not sure, Chet, if you can add any more words onto, what we've already talked about, Mr. Sheets.
If we go back a couple years to look at, in the few games that he played, in 24-25, and then this season, what a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
First full season, Iron Man, right? 36 games.
Played every game.
That's an incredible feat in itself for any team. 36 points for the season, and then he gets 8 in 3
games. Yeah, that's incredible. And you look at his progression, like in the regular season, in his first season, only had a total of 4 points, but he only did play 6 games. But then he also got no points in the playoffs in that first year. But coming around, he must have came to camp ready to go. Yeah. I know we talked about him quite a bit throughout the season. We ended up, like you said, 36 points. And then you look at his playoff points, like 8 points in 5 games. I don't know what to say, but keep it up, Tanner. You're gonna turn some heads in round 2.
Yeah. Big kid, right? Just over 6 feet, played AA, U18 AA in Camrose, and just keeps contributing. A guy that we really enjoy seeing and saying his name a lot. So congratulations, Tanner. You are the NEAJBHL Player of the Week.
Wow, that rolled off your tongue better than it rolled off mine.
And Tanner, we hope to meet you sometime in
round 2, possibly.
Round 2, or maybe in playoffs.
Maybe in the finals.
In the finals. So
good luck.
Well, folks, that wraps up episode 17 of the GDB Breakdown. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, Round Run delivered everything you want in playoff hockey. Intensity, surprise, and a few unexpected exits.
Quick. Yeah. Congratulations to the teams moving on and to the players who stepped up when their teams needed them most in their series.
The road only gets tougher from here. We'll be here breaking it all down every step of the way.
Thanks for tuning in, supporting the show, and supporting Junior B hockey in Northeast Alberta.
And now, you have the breakdown.
The Northeast Junior B Breakdown is brought to you by the Cold Lake Ice, supporting junior hockey and the players, coaches, and fans who make this league so much fun to follow. Chet and Dwayne are fictional characters created for entertainment purposes only. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or deceased, is purely coincidental.